Good morning, good day, good evening. It is my privilege and honor to welcome all of our faculty, staff, students, parents, and other guests who have joined us from around the world to celebrate our seniors today. Most importantly, I want to welcome our seniors, the class of 2020, a class in a year that will never be forgotten. In particular, I want to give a special recognition to all of our four-year seniors who started this journey in August of 2016. They hopefully are indicated by a red background so you can see who's been here for the full time. No matter when you join this class, know that you've made an impact and become an important and integral member of the class of 2020. Today marks the beginning of a week of celebrations that will honor all of our seniors for all they have accomplished in their time on the Hill and will culminate on Saturday with commencement. For each of the seniors, there's been a journey filled with ups and downs, wins and losses, successes and failures. But for each of you, it has been a time marked by growth, both personal and academic. Most importantly, it has been a time where you have connected with each other and with the Kents Hill community. I would ask that each of you take a moment and think about three people in your life with whom you connected and who helped you to get to this week. First, one of your classmates. Second, one of your teachers, coaches, or dorm parents. And finally, one of your family members. While we are focused on celebrating you, it is always important to remember and express gratitude for those who have helped and supported us to get to where we are today. Today, your senior class advisors and DHAVE will share some sage advice and wisdom with you. We will honor one of your classmates with the Banner Award. It is fitting that in August of 2016, during Project Week, your class chose perseverance as your class value. Little did you know that you would be completing your senior year remotely in the midst of a global pandemic, and every ounce of your perseverance would be required to complete your journey. We will also celebrate a faculty member who will be honored with the yearbook dedication today. Most importantly, today we officially welcome you to the Kents Hill alumni community. The Kents Hill alumni community is thousands strong. Over the past 3 years, I have met hundreds of Kents Hill alumni, young and old. I regularly hear from so many of them that they attribute much of their personal and professional success to their time on the Hill, and in particular to the adults and classmates they spent time with and who helped shape their values and character. I am confident that each of you will also go on to discover your own path to success, and your time on the Hill will have contributed significantly to it. I have no doubt that the class of 2020 is going to be one of the strongest alumni classes in the nearly 200-year history of the school. The journey you have traveled is unprecedented. And as head of school, I look forward to continuing to celebrate you and bring you together in person for many years to come. Thank you for all you have contributed during your time on the Hill, and I look forward to witnessing your contributions to the world and Kents Hill in the future. Class of 2020, we will always be stronger together. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Adam Shabbat and Emily Arsenault were the senior class advisors, and you're going to hear a short reflection from Mr. Shabbat.
Hi, everybody. Welcome into the class of 2020. Thank you. And so I'd like to introduce the class of 2020 faculty speaker. This particular person was one of the first people who I encountered when I arrived at Kents Hill in, May of 2012. At the time, he was what Kents Hill was all about, and he was my first taste of what it was like and what this place was going to be for me. From day one, I knew that this was going to be a community where I could grow, where I could learn, and eventually become not the 22-year-old who, first started here 8 years ago, but the actual adult who's now here before you. And I credit this person for a lot of that. He is incredibly passionate, not just about Kensil, but about teaching and learning and coaching. And I certainly value everything I've learned from him. And clearly, as this person was nominated as your faculty speaker, I think many of you would agree with that sentiment. Again, truly an amazing individual, and I'm very much looking forward to hearing what he has to say. So here's your faculty class speaker, Mr. DeHaven.
Good morning, everybody. I miss Bernie walking into my classroom with his hat on. Every day this year when Bernie came in, he always had his hat on. I never got mad because Bernie. So most of the time I'd say to Bernie, take your hat off, please. He'd smile and say, oh, my bad. One time I said, Bernie, one of these days you're going to show up without your hat on, and I'm going to have a attack. Don't worry, D. He said, your health is safe with me. I miss telling Bernie to take his hat off. I miss going out to tennis practice every afternoon. This year, the team was going to consist of Sonny, Aaron Emerly, Vera, Alexis, Amita, and Andy, all of whom were on the team last year. I can hear Aaron right now. Oh, D. Do we have to run? Can't we just play tennis? 5 laps, I'd say. Then either Sonny or Alexis would say, I hate running. Anita would always be ready for anything. And Vera, even though she too hated running, never complained about anything. It's the start of another practice, and despite the running, I'm pretty sure they all loved being there. I know I did. I missed tennis. And this year, we were going to be joined by Lisa Fredrickson. I didn't have Lisa in class this year, so this is going to be my first chance to get to know her. Sometimes, if Owen or Brian didn't show up for class, I'd jump over to Sampson or Davis, barge into the room and say, you got 2 minutes to get to class, let's go. I doubt they miss seeing me in the morning, but I miss doing that. I miss doing duty in the stew on Monday nights and getting the crap kicked out of me in ping pong by Dom. That kid can really play ping pong. We miss all kinds of stuff. Donnie Dong misses stepping into the deep snow and slowly walking over to the dining commons with his best friends just to say, check in, please, to the OD. He can't, that he's not going to get to check in anymore. Miss Arsenault misses playing spike ball and sauce toss or foursquare. Sonny misses going to Fielders. Elliot misses Sunday morning omelets or hanging in Wesleyan Lounge with Jesse and Kunso and Diego and Hockey Priest. Nanoff misses the laughter caused by Zach doing yet another awesome impression. Julia misses hearing Dr. Ona's happy days. Don't we all? Miss Pickett misses hearing kids at 10 o'clock at night on the 10th. Vera misses going to Jess's house on Friday nights with Elliot to play Wii and eat too many popsicles. Anya misses Ricky because when you're around Ricky, there's never a moment when you're not laughing. Ricky misses a cappella group in the basement of Davis. Drew misses everything in Davis, from waking up to find Nick conked out on his couch with a bowl full of mac and cheese, to the wild week with Oliver Pinkwater, to the 2 a.m. life lessons with Dave, the security guard. Mr. Jenkins misses being exhausted from class, giving high fives, helping advisees, seeing kids in the dorm, and sharing impromptu moments along the way. Mr. Hannon said it was no coincidence that Mitch and Murby were on the baseball team that made 3 consecutive appearances in the New England Small School Baseball Tournament and that won 3 MASAD championships. He really misses seeing those 2 on the baseball field. Eva misses saying hi to the Beers crew every day. Smitty misses the barbershop where guys could just go hang out and talk. He and Max giving dual haircuts. He loved being a sounding board and giving advice and letting guys know that they have someone in their corner all the time. And he misses that dearly. He actually misses the 5 minutes in between classes because he loves spontaneity and passing time is full of it. kids yelling at each other across the courtyard or running to get a snack or a notebook, teachers chit-chatting with each other, or students out in the hallways. And just like that, it's gone. One of Coxey's favorite quotes is, "You never know who might stop by when you're burning around the sun." Passing time in between classes always reminds him that we're all just burning around the sun, and he misses it. It's a great point. We're all just burning around the sun, and we're going to miss the things we're going to miss, whether school ends in March or it ends in June. So what do we do? What do we learn from these unforeseen circumstances in which we find ourselves? The 19th century American writer Stephen Crane, who had this idea that our lives are controlled by an environment. That is, on the one hand, our lives are controlled by the family which we were born into. For example, if your parents are the king and queen of England, you're going to have a different lifestyle than if your parents live on an island off the coast of Maine. Therefore, according to Crane, who your parents and grandparents are controls at least part of who we will become, and that's not going to change. The other part is controlled by our environment. That is, stuff outside of our control, like the coronavirus, just happened. That stuff will sometimes take control of our lives. When we read a story in class, I ask my students how much control they have over their lives. Most say they control about 80%, with their parents in the school controlling the rest. I have no desire to dispel that notion because, like most of you, I firmly believe that we determine to a large degree how our lives turn out. However, I think we do better and be happier if we could find a way to, at least occasionally, live in the present. But our go-to is to either live in the past or to live in the future. And don't get me wrong, remembering the past can be awesome. Hodge brought up the whole Max fries phenomenon. He just loved the idea of attaching reduced price French fries at stew to whether or not a soft-spoken student from Germany could score a goal in a JV soccer game. The picture of Max collapsed on the field, surrounded by teammates laughing after he scored his first goal at Hyde, will go to Hodge with his grave. O'Shea will never forget driving Quanting's McLaren. Julia loved the whitewater rafting trip. Andy and Vera both remember seeing the Big Dipper while gazing with Annika over by the art department. Miss Chick remembers hanging in the Commons after dinner listening to Tyler, Vanessa, Latrell, Taya, Evan, Aaron, Alexis, and Lori laughing until the lights went out. Karina has always known that Lenny's really afraid of squirrels, so she'll never forget the day when they were walking back from the Commons and a squirrel ran past Lenny, jumped into the tree by the stew, and hissed right in Lenny's face. Lenny didn't think it was nearly as funny as everybody else. Doesn't think anybody should ever forget the most spectacular under the radar performance in years when Dr. Onu, Mr. Jenkins, Smitty, Prof. Bay, Mr. McAdam, and Mr. Giddings decided to choreograph a plug for a new synchronized swim team at the last music assembly. Drew had a memory about me, so I feel a little weird sharing it, but I'm going to do it anyway. One time last year in our American Lit class, I put some quiz questions on the smart board. So as soon as the students came in, they started taking a quiz. About 20 minutes later, the last kid turned in the quiz and everybody assumed we'd start class. But I stood up and said, I don't feel like doing this. Have a great day. At that point, I walked across the room, turned out the lights, walked out and shut the door. I left the smart board on and my computer on. So according to Drew, as the other English teachers walked by the room to see what was going on, we had a great time watching clips from the movie Borat and laughing far past the end of class. When they went to lunch, they found out that I'd left for a tennis match. Games have a way of coming up in the memory of anyone who's involved in sports. Coach Cockrell says he'll never forget the trip the hockey team made to Brunswick School in Greenwich, Connecticut. It's always a terrific atmosphere because they have hundreds of fans who yell at the top of their lungs from the time they drop the puck until the final horn sounds. So we got off the bus after a 6-hour bus ride and walked into the most beautiful rink around to play the 6th ranked team in New England. We were ranked 49. The noise was deafening. And to tell you the truth, the whole scene was kind of intimidating, but we played great. We ended up tying the game. Ties never, ever feel good, but that one sure did. It was a great weekend. Some athletic teams don't like traveling, but in my experience, hockey teams love going on the road. The guys and girls love being on the bus and spending time with each other. The Brunswick game was on a Friday. We had a nice trip back to school on Saturday, and then topped off the weekend by beating St. Louis at home on Sunday. Sonny remembers when she and Tina won the Mid Doubles Championship and feel about it on the Hebron Twitter feed. If you looked at it, you would have thought that Hebron had won. As Sonny said, we got a big lead. Mr. Hannon recalled the football game in which we beat up on Holderness. Justin had 2 interceptions. LJ made a sweet one-handed grab in the end zone. Nick was slinging the ball to Munzo all over the field. And Blake made some big hits on kickoffs and then recovered a fumble. But the highlight was when Shuki lost his mind during the post-game speech. He jumped into the team huddle and yelled, "That's the way we take care of business." In my mind, I kind of hear an expletive in there somewhere. Ebut will never forget winning the Winter Carnival game against Hebron last year. Max will never forget beating Tabor in the shootout at their tournament last year. Big saves. Owen had a sweet goal. And then Max got to celebrate afterward with the team, his entire family, and good pizza, 8.8 on the team scale. Pio will never forget the boys soccer win this year over the supposedly stronger Lumberjacks from Hebron for the Maysad Championship. The whole game seemed improbable from start to finish. Bad weather leads to the game at home, being at home instead of on the road. KH to an early lead, only to see it slip away. KH plays a man down for much of the game. There were starkly different styles of both playing and coaching. It almost seemed like a Disney movie, complete with us rooting for a collection of truly nice, funny, smart, kind dudes who you knew and loved so well, out there battling together against long odds. Surely our Huskies were too sweet, too well-rounded to win this game, the audience thought, and they proved us all wrong. Play the sound, roll the credits. No, there's absolutely nothing wrong with having great memories, and there's nothing wrong with looking forward to what's coming next. We all want to put the corona in the rearview mirror, but if we've learned anything from this virus, it's that we can't relive the past, and anything can happen in the future. So as I said, if we can find a way, at least occasionally, to live in the present, we'll be happier for it. So how do we do that? What we can do is appreciate other people. In order to do so, we have to show compassion. That is, be nice to those around us, and show empathy. That is, be willing to look at the world through the eyes of other people. Years ago, the famous anthropologist Margaret Mead was asked by a student what she considered to be the first sign of civilization. The student expected her to talk about fish hooks or clay pots or some other inanimate objects that show how people started to live together. But no, Mead said the first sign of civilization was a thigh bone that had been broken and then healed. She explained that in the animal kingdom, if you break your leg, you die. You can't run from danger. You can't get to the river for a drink, and you can't hunt for food. You are meat for prowling beasts. No animal survives a broken leg long enough for the bone to heal. A broken leg that is healed is evidence that someone has taken the time to stay with you, has bound your wound, has carried you to safety, tended you through recovery. Helping someone else through difficulty is where civilization is. Be compassionate and empathetic, because we're at our best for others. Be a person of principle. When the situation with Luke and his computer came up earlier this year, a number of you, including Jatan, Adip, Declan, Munzo, and Luke himself, stood up and talked about how they did not want to live in a community that tolerates bigotry and prejudice. Our school motto is one person of principle can always make a difference. People of principle are people who stand up for what is right. When you stand up for what is right and just, you always make a difference. If you do more than what is expected, you will always be successful. When we decided to go to remote learning, the expectation for teachers was that they would figure out a way to teach their classes online and be accessible to students. But a bunch of people did more than what was expected. I can't name them all, but a couple kind. Cook with Shook, cool school meetings, Cookie, Vanessa, and Miss Chute, stargazing with Miss Mo, and of course, The Sloth, brought to you by Pete Hodgin. Be good leaders. In order to do so, have high expectations, believe in yourself, be accountable to yourself, and promote good character. Find someone who's a good leader and learn all you can. Coach Cockrell is the best teacher of leadership and character that I've ever met. He has unbelievably high expectations. As a result, he puts young guys like Sam and Cam and Joe in stressful situations because he knows it'll be good for them, it'll be good for the team. He also expects every player to do his best and get better in every situation from November to March, regardless of whether we're winning or losing games. He believes in his players and insists they all, in one way or another, be leaders in the locker room and on the ice. Coach Cockrell makes his players be accountable. They all show up for breakfast. They all show up for practice. They follow the rules, do their best in every practice, and they don't do it for the coaches. Rather, they do it for themselves and for each other. Finally, he promotes good character by expecting hockey players to be positive leaders and do all they can to make Kent Hill a better place. Whatever you do, do it right. Last year, Jess, Elliot, and Vera were the first underclassmen to ever take AP English at Kent Hill. They were in a fairly large class and were known to everybody else in the class as the youngsters. But they all more than what was expected, and as a result, they were better on the AP test. Remember who your friends are. At some point in your life, you may end up with some better friends than you've had here, but I really doubt it. I don't think you'll come across another place where you'll find as many people committed to your well-being as here. I've seen hundreds of kids come and go from KH over the years, but when I talk to them now, they always end up not only about themselves, but also about some friends that they had when they were here and that they are still close with now. I can almost guarantee that you'll have the same experience. So to recapitulate or recap, it's wonderful to have good memories, live exclusively in the past. You have control over your own life, plans, but be sure to take an effort to live in the present. Show compassion and empathy. Be a person of principle. Be a good leader by having high expectations, believing in yourself, being accountable to yourself, and promoting good character. Do more than is expected. Whatever you do it right, and remember who your friends are. Clearly, all of you have great memories of this year, and I absolutely guarantee that none of you will ever forget the 2019-2020 year at Kent Hill. Believe it or not, in some ways, your graduation will be more memorable because it is going to be virtual. So, as difficult as it will be, try to take the long view. As that wise young man named Donnie Dong once said, most of my memories here have been extremely happy, but as with all of us, some have not. And I appreciate those too. For Saruggle are excellent teachers. Without them, the good times would not stand out as much. When it comes to leaving this beautiful and sacred place, only good experiences will remain in my memory. Thank you for that, Donnie. Too true. When Miss Chute told me that you had elected me to be the senior speaker this year, you could have knocked me over with a feather. That's old guy slang for I was really, really surprised. I'm deeply honored by your confidence in giving me this opportunity. I'm going to miss you in the same way that I miss my own children on their way. And I hope to see you all again soon. However, I urge you, exhort you, and challenge every single one of you to show up here for your 5-year reunion. I'll be waiting to see you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. DeHaven. That was really awesome.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Miss Whitestone is going to present the Banner Award. So when our seniors were freshmen, they voted on adopting a class core value, and the Banner Award is really a way to highlight that student in the senior class who has best exhibited that. So, Ms. Whitestone.
Thank you. As Mrs. Chute said, for those who do not know the origin of the Banner Award, I'll start by sharing a little bit of a history. Each year during freshman projects, one of the traditions that the students take part in is a selection of the Kents Hill core value that they would like to represent their class for the next 4 years. This is an interesting evening filled with lots of respectful conversation and debate. The students present arguments for their favorite choice, and they vote repeatedly by putting an individual stone in a bucket that represents their core value of choice until finally they reach a unanimous decision and get to eat ice cream sundaes. It couldn't be any more fitting that the core value chosen by the class of 2020 during freshman projects was perseverance. 4 years ago, even 4 months ago, no one would have anticipated the degree of perseverance you would all need at this time. Strength to get through your classes and keep your connection strong, and determination to move forward in the face of disappointment over things lost and uncertainty about the future. It would be much easier to just lay down and give up or throw a temper tantrum, although some of us may have done that. But yet you've all shown incredible grit and determination to push past these challenges. One of the reasons that the Banner Award is so special is that it's not a faculty award. It's a peer award based on the votes of the other members of the class of 2020. The individual who will be receiving today's award is a perfect example of perseverance. I cannot think of anyone who has better exemplified this core value. What comes to mind when I think of her is her resilience in the face of hardship, her grace, and her strength of character. Most of us will never experience the hardships and pain that this person has faced during the past year. It's been so inspiring to watch her grow into such an amazing, self-assured young woman. It's my great pleasure to honor the recipient of the class of 2020 Banner Award for Perseverance, voted by her classmates, Vanessa Tebasigua.
Congratulations, Vanessa. I hope you can hear everybody clapping because I know that they all are. You so deserve that award. Next up, in addition to voting on the Banner Award, the senior class chooses a faculty member to whom they want to dedicate the yearbook. And this year we have Jeff Munson, who is going to read the dedication and announce the winner of that.
Oh, thank you, Ms. Chute. I'm hoping this is going to be a surprise. We, the graduating class of 2020, hereby dedicate this year's Polaris to Dr. Jeffrey Link, PhD. Doc Link is passionate about chemistry and equally passionate about helping students achieve their full potential in the classroom. He believes in his students' capacity to learn chemistry, and he will go to extremes to make himself available for extra help sessions, tutorials, makeup labs, and often showing up and done at 7:30 in the morning and keeping the lab open until 9:30 at night to work with us. While he allows the classroom environment to be a little loose, he also has high expectations for us and holds us accountable at every level. Yet he is always willing to let the conversation go beyond chemistry to talk about the things that are real in our lives. And his cool demonstrations and penchant for setting things on fire keeps us entertained, but also make us wonder and ask why. On the March mission trips, he taught us that we needed to be better than good enough, and he wasn't above ripping up a floor we had just proudly completed and make us close the end gap so it was perfect for the homeowner. He taught us the proper way to safely handle tools, but he also taught us that people are more important than things. And we were able to witness firsthand the compassion and moral compass that are the hallmarks of his character. For all of this, we thank him. In addition to our gratitude, we also have some apologies to make. We are sorry when we had to ask him to explain for the 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd time what a mole was. We sincerely regret not showing up to all of the evening study sessions we begged him to run on the night before a test. We are sorry about all of the model rocket parts that we accidentally glued to the lab benches. And we are sorry that we failed to fully grasp the concept that goggles do the most good when they are actually worn over the eyes and not over the forehead. In all of this, Doc Link has had infinite patience with us and never let any of this get in the way of being an excellent teacher, a compassionate advisor, and a mentor who has always had our best interests at heart. We will always remember all that he has done for us. Congratulations, Dr. Link.
Congratulations, Dr. Link. You have been truly an inspiration for so many students and for the faculty as well. So well deserved. Next up, I wanted to invite a special person to our assembly today because she has been such an inspiration and mentor to so many of the students in the senior class. She is a beloved woman who, well, I'm not going to tell you anything else, but I'm going to invite her now to surprise you all with the special message that she wants to send you.
Hey, Kent Hill seniors and community, this is Babs Wielden. It's great to see all of you. I'm so honored to jump on this Zoom ceremony. I miss you all and the beauty of Kent Hill so much. I just wanted to let you know that one thing changed in the Wielden family, and we have a puppy, and it's been a huge sense of joy for us. Pandemic puppies are pretty fun, and seeing a surge in pets in the world has made me think about being a husky. And so I just wanted to say that it's so appropriate that you are all huskies. You are free-spirited, you are good-natured, you're athletic and playful and light on your feet. You love being outdoors, especially in cold weather. And you need a significant amount of daily exercise. So I hope you're still doing that. Huskies have similar traits to all of you. So I grabbed this from some pet source on the internet, and I just wanted to share with the seniors in the class of 2020 that you're a friendly pack, you're intelligent, you thrive on human company. And you really need some firm and gentle training, and you need that from your advisors, your coaches, your dorm parents, your friends, your teachers. So I just want you to know that you're forever a pack and take pride in your accomplishments. And I wish you the best, and a special shout out to my advisee, Ellie, and I'll see you on the North Shore soon. So take care, class of 2020. Great to see everybody.
Thank you, Babs. What an awesome treat to see your face on this special day. So thanks for joining us. Yay. So the last part of our assembly today is a slideshow that was put together by Mrs. Neto, and she put a lot of time and effort into this. And I want to thank her for that, and thank Mrs. Putnam as well for helping to put this together, and Mr. Bartholomew for also helping out. So I'm going to turn the screen over so that we can play your special slideshow.
I still remember looking up and counting every star with you. At 15, we're so sure we know who we are. I knew that you were all I would need. Happiness was between your eyes and mine. And if I'd fall, you would be right beside me to bring me to life again. It's been so long since that Texas night. We're growing up, we cut our teeth. We learn that love is not so easy. We're growing up and chasing our dreams. We find that life's not what it seems. When we're growing up.
Saya selihat tonton Yearbook.
I still remember looking up and throwing all our hats so high. Texas night. We're growing up, we cut our teeth, we find that love is not so easy. We're growing up, chasing our dreams, we find that life's not what it seems. When we're growing, I've learned through the bittersweet to hold the roses in between the thorns, to rise up with broken wings and press on even when it seems the storms will throw me down. 'Cause we're growing up, 'cause we're growing up. Love is not so easy. We're growing up and chasing our dreams. We find that life's not what it seems. When we're growing, when we're growing, when we're growing up. Counting every star with you. Time I look into my window, there's always people trashing up the living room, only spewing doom and gloom. But every time I spark a conversation, they only seem to lie, But then I turn to them and I say gently, myself this evening, believe me. And all my friends are up on the roof, playing songs from some band I don't care about. But that's okay with me, if they just let me be. Say that's okay with me. If they just let me be, if they just let me be, if they just let me be, if they just let me be.
Peace, be still, my darling. All is well, my darling. Your anxious heart may as well be stone. Oh, it weighs you down deeper than you know. Yeah, it weighs you down deeper than you know.
Be still, my darling. All is well, my darling. Your anxious heart may as well be stone. Oh, it weighs you down deeper than you know. Yeah, it weighs you down deeper than you know. Oh, darling, don't be scared of time changing us both. Death will leave our bodies, but it'll never touch my soul. If you are afraid, well, heavens don't let go. 'Cause darling, I will stay as we grow. Oh.
Thank you, everybody. That was an awesome video. Thank you again to Miss Netto for putting that together. That was a lot of work, and it was really fun to see all of your faces and to relive so many awesome memories on the Hill. So thank you. Thank you again to everybody who spoke today, and congratulations to those who were honored. And of course, it wouldn't be a proper end to a meeting if I did not say, let's make these days count instead of counting these days. So to you seniors, have an awesome week. You are truly a gift to Kents Hill School, and we will miss you tremendously, and have an awesome day.